China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea as our four biggest adversaries in that order. What we're doing right now in Iran, if we were in a conflict with China, would we have the capacity to do both?
Because an adversary takes advantage of us being tied down somewhere else. You're arguing that fighting a war with Iran helps to deter China. Is that accurate?
Well, I think
How destroyed?
Well, I think that's. I mean,
For this timely hearing,
Mr. Jacobs and I were talking about this.
Are you afraid of a U.S. invasion in your country?
No, we are waiting for them.
You are waiting for the U.S. military to invade the ground troops?
Yes, because we are confident that we can confront them, and that would be a big disaster for them.
Dedication of you dedicated for our championship. That's for you.
Lionel Messi is, my son said, Dad, you know who's going to be there today? And I said, no, I got a lot of things going on. He said, Messi. I said, really? He's a big fan. He's a big fan of yours. He thinks you're just a great person, and I think you got to meet a little while. So he's a big soccer fan, but he's a tremendous fan of yours, and a gentleman named Ronaldo. I shouldn't say this because you'll say I'm old, but I watched Pelé play. He played for the Cosmos. You know that? I don't know. You may be better than Pelé. Pelé was pretty good. Who's better, him or Pelé?
Messi.
I think he is. But he was pretty good, right? Pelé was pretty good. Frankly, there's a lot more pressure put on you than anyone would know because, you're sort of expected to win, but almost nobody wins. They come in, they're great, they're the best in the world, they get paid a fortune. You came in and you won with all that pressure. That's an amazing tribute, so congratulations.
All which we made, which hopefully
Love our country. And before we begin, I think I will say a few words about what's going on with respect to our operation in the country of Iran. We're destroying more of Iran's missiles and drone capability every single hour. Further action to reduce pressure on oil is imminent, and the oil seems to have pretty much stabilized. Scott, it's okay with you? Scott's the one who has to put up with it. He said, you have to do this now? I said, I have to do it, Scott, right? We're using it more than I'd like to use it, to be honest with you, but when we use it, we found out it certainly did work. When we look at Venezuela, when we look at the first attack, Midnight Hammer in Iran, which really set the stage for what we're doing right now. And they're saying, how do we make a deal? I said, you're being a little bit late, and we want to fight now more than they do.
We are not asking for a ceasefire. We don't see any reason why we should negotiate with the U.S. So there is no request for a ceasefire by us, and there is no request for the negotiation with the U.S. From us. We have never sent any messages to them.
Saudi Arabia.
Allies are burden sharing for us.
They're stepping up by our allies and partners.
What does success look like in Iran? Okay, we've achieved our objectives, success, we're done, we're out.
Which is specifically focused on degrading and destroying missile one-way attack drones capabilities and their production, as well as the naval forces of the Islamic Republic.
How destroyed does it have to?
Well, I think that's. I mean, we're going to seek to do the best we can. I think we're on plan.
I keep hearing that we're on plan. They had 10,000 missiles, now they have 8,000. And I keep getting told, we don't really have those specific information yet. So how do we know that we're on plan?
We don't want to repeat, the mistakes of McNamara and a false kind of numeracy to it. We are looking at the strategic level. So obviously those numbers are important, but we're looking more at a strategic level at degrading the capabilities of the Islamic Republic, not only fielded forces, but the production capabilities.
The lack of specifics on that are troubling in terms of how long this is going to last. But when that's done, if the Islamic Republic is still there, they will simply rebuild. So what is the objective to prevent that from happening?
I don't think that's a given at all.
Well, it's not a given, but what's the objective?
Is to prevent an outcome where they don't have the incentive. And that's where the Venezuela model, I think there's a realistic sense. We have learned the lessons of Iraq and not being overly ambitious.
Comparing Iran to Venezuela is like, comparing Kentucky to Venezuela. It's equally valid. Iran.
I don't think it's a perfect analogy, sir, but I think I'm just making a point about in terms of the flexibility of the political objective.
Are we at war with Iran?
I think we're in a military action at this point. I'll leave it to Congress and lawyers, et cetera, from the administration to determine the exact.
So is the president wrong when he says we are at war?
Well, I won't add or subtract anything to the president. I wouldn't presume to do so.
Today we're meeting to review the...
Ken, I think we're on plan.
Do you believe that Operation Epic Fury risked wasting the department's limited resources needed to deter war with China?
And I think that the Operation Epic Fury is actually an example of exactly what was talked about in the strategy.
An adversary takes advantage of us being tied down somewhere else. China is the greatest threat. Doesn't beginning a war in Iran not really help with deterring China?
We know we have very significant magazine depth across the force.
You're arguing that fighting a war with Iran helps to deter China. Is that accurate?
Well, I think there's different debates about this. This is about the threat the Islamic Republic poses directly.
So let me just ask, does Operation Epic Fury deter China?
I think there's an argument that it can have some deterrent effect.
Just yes or no?
What I do see is that...
I know we want to know, view.
I can give you more specificity. We do see that others around the world, and conscious that we're in an open hearing, are very impressed by the prowess of the joint force and are...
But do you think, as someone who's focused on China for a long time,
absolutely,
you think it deters?
It contributes to deterrence, yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, and yet...
China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea is our four biggest adversaries in that order. What we're doing right now in Iran, if we were in a conflict with China, would we have the capacity to do both?
Sir, I think we're in very good shape, in large part because of the president's leadership and the stepping up by our allies and partners rapidly that will allow us to deal with the full range of potential challenges.
And none of us have.
I want to start with a quote. Quote, from the military perspective, the focus really needs to be tightly on the Pacific, especially the first island chain in Taiwan. Does that ring a bell?
Rings a bell, sir.
That was you. Quote, some believe that Washington can conduct a major military effort in the Middle East and maintain its advantage in Asia. That's a self-comforting delusion. Quote, does that ring a bell?
I defer to you, sir. Where the source?
That was you, Mr. Colby. So the question is, were you wrong then, or are you wrong now?
I don't agree with your characterization, sir.
That's fine.
The president's asked our allies to do more, but if our American allies can't buy U.S. weapons, I worry they're going to be in a really, really bad spot. What's the message to our allies like the Baltic states or Poland that are meeting or exceeding the 5% target? And yet we're not doing the things that we're lecturing the Europeans about doing and not providing them weapons. Give us a perspective on how we're going to close.
Sure. 2025 was about reframing. 2026, we're getting down to business. The Europeans are moving. I can say that. Asian allies like South Korea, and I think we're optimistic about Japan, Australia, and New Zealand as well. One is the president's historic proposal for a $1.5 trillion defense budget. And we need to have better performance from the defense industry. Where I would turn it around to you and to the Congress is where we all need to lean in together, also with our allies. This is where the conversation is.